Hello world, welcome to a special Tuesday edition of Monday Media Review here at Two Guys on the Couch. I am George.
Now I'm Joe. We're here to wade through the bullshit, give you our opinions on upcoming movies and games.
Now, before we start, I want to explain why we're doing a Tuesday edition. Well, see, we usually film on Sunday. Well, on Saturday night, my best man from my wedding came up and gave me my bachelor's party, and I got pretty fucking wasted.
This is a mess.
I was in no condition to film anything. So now we're filming today on Monday, and you'll get this review tomorrow. Well, today. Tuesday, exactly.
And that is for Resident Evil Afterlife.
Directed by the great and wonderful Paul W.S. Anderson.
You say it sarcastically. A lot of people hate Paul Anderson, but I actually like a lot of his films. The majority of his films, I like them.
He is an excellent director when it comes to action and
science fiction,
in filming the scene. And he's good, except when it comes to most video game movies. When he does an independent thing, like for example, Event Horizon.
Or Death Race is a great fucking movie.
It's a great movie. But when he does video game movies, I honestly have no idea what the fuck he's thinking.
Now, of course, in this movie, you got his wife, Milla Jovovich.
These movies are simply to make her career valid.
That was ridiculous.
Other than this, what does she got? Zoolander?
She does have Fifth Element. She is the perfect woman.
They really make her perfect. I know.
Then you have Ali Lanter. She is smoking hot when she's wet. Period.
And she makes Amelia look like, well, the way she looks, like a fucking anorexic supermodel.
I know a lot of people think she's attractive. I'm not attractive to 10-year-old little boys.
I'm gonna make love to your asshole, children.
Then you have the dude from Prison Break who played Chris Redfield.
Which they finally introduced after 4 movies. He's only been the main character in the franchise since the very first game.
And this is what really pisses me off, is people talk about how convenient some things are. It's like, it's just convenient that this is like this and this person knows that.
What was the movie that we really liked?
Independence
Day.
This right here.
People could say, oh, how convenient that movie is.
Alice conveniently knows Claire Redfield, but they meet up in Alaska. Conveniently, she's the only one who wasn't taken. Yeah. And then conveniently, they went to L.A., where they conveniently landed on the only place that still had people, a prison, which conveniently had Chris Redfield trapped.
And then this is all convenient that the boat that they're trying to get to just happens to be within distance of the prison.
Which I shot distance. Seriously.
It's an easy fix. One line of dialogue. Thank God we invented the, whatever device.
I mean, the story of this, it's all over the place. They don't explain a goddamn thing. Like, if you've never played Resident Evil 4 or 5, you don't understand where the Plagas come from. They're in the movie with absolutely no explanation.
They just showed up.
No! Don't go!
They try to explain this in, like, a quick fashion because Wesker is this, and it's a mutation of the G virus. And he has to absorb people. He has to actually eat people for some... I don't know where the fuck that came from.
It came from District 9. That's where it came
Apparently.
from. Like,
the Nigerians were consuming alien body parts. They believed that by doing so, they were ingesting their power.
And then they have the Axe guy from Resident Evil 5. They just kind of threw him in there without any explanation. He just showed up walking down the streets of L.A. with a hood, chain, spikes in his shoulders with a big-ass fucking... Last time I checked, you really just can't pick one of those things up at the local hardware store.
Well, I guess he was probably coming from an S&M club downtown L.A.
They never explained him. They never explained where he came from. They didn't say, oh, well, he's an Umbrella experiment. At least they did that with Nemesis.
Yeah.
This guy just kind of fucking showed up out of fucking nowhere with a big-ass axe. It made no sense.
That's what they did throughout this whole movie. They took stuff from the game, threw it in the movie with no context to anything. So if you've never played the game, you're like, what the fuck is any of this shit?
What's worse is the BS characters. And we call them BS because they're bullshit. They're there for one sole purpose, to die.
X-Men, welcome to die.
It's like, you know what? How about this? Be a fucking man, introduce a main character, and kill the main character off.
Like Alice.
Like Alice. Kill her off. She's fucking useless.
One thing they did with Alice in the opening sequence, Wesker injects her with this thing that says it gets rid of her T-virus. It makes her superhuman.
It makes her normal again. It makes her human.
But yeah, she's doing superhuman shit throughout the whole movie.
It's completely retarded. It's like...
They get rid of her telekinetic power, which she drops down and takes up this whole group of guys. Like
that's
with
the clone that does that.
Well, either way, she drops down, takes out this whole group of guys in combat, and then some more pour in, and then she uses her telekinesis and takes... It's like, why don't you lead with that?
Yeah, he's like, drop down, you're behind him, just hit him with a blast, be done with a turnaround, hit him with another blast. It's like, you don't even need guns. Just fucking rip the building apart with your fucking mind. There's no reason to be jumping around, all Matrix-like. Whoa. Well, the action was done and shot really well, and the slow-mo was done correctly.
With high-speed cameras.
It's a few years late. It's 1999 late.
Yeah, The Matrix already did this, and they even rip off the scene from Matrix 2 where the tankers collide.
Well, where the
semis collide,
and it's like you see the spin around, and you got
Lawrence Fishburne and the Keyman Master. They're suspended, and Neo swoops in.
Yeah, it's same thing.
They do the exact same thing in this movie.
It's so blatantly ripped off. It's like, you know what? I'll give you credit. It looks good, but it's ripped. It's straight up ripped off. It's insulting almost.
And the big thing about this movie was it's in 3D.
Honestly, this movie doesn't need to be in 3D. It may have worked for maybe 3 fucking scenes, and that's it. Besides that, there was no reason for it to be in 3D.
I mean, the whole movie had depth to it, but it didn't do anything. Like, it was pointless.
The movie may have had depth, but it was a shallow fucking movie.
Oh, snap.
I mean, you thought Piranha 3D was a gimmicky? At least they understood it was a gimmick, so they used it as a gimmick. They're actually trying to say it's a creative expression for this movie. No, it's not. It's fucking gimmicky.
You gotta have a gimmick if you wanna have a chance.
We're gonna give this 2 ratings. A rating as the movie by itself, that if you don't consider the games, and then a rating, because it's based on the games. Now, just as a movie, I mean, I did enjoy watching it. It has tons of problems, but it was fun to watch. But there wasn't much to it. So I'm going to go 5 out of 10 umbrellas. And as a movie based on the game, I'm going to go 2 out of 10. Because they do have a bunch of characters from the game, at least. And the end fight with Wesker, Chris, and Claire is straight out of Resident Evil 5. Except for Resident Evil 5, it's Jill, Chris, and Wesker. But, I mean, it's straight out of the game.
Alright, now, for just as a movie, I'm going to have to go a little bit lower. I'm going to have to go 4 out of 10 umbrellas. And mostly because I spent we spent $9 on it. We didn't see them. We saw the early matinee, and I felt cheated. It's like, I'm sorry, why did I pay $9 for this when I could have paid $5 and still got the same experience? Because it's 3D? Fuck you. No. Also, the fact that if you don't know anything about the game, you're going to be lost.
Yeah, that is true.
You're going to be lost. It's like, what's this? What's that? How come they're doing that? Where's this guy come from? What's that new thing in their mouth? It doesn't explain jack shit. Now, they're coming with a 5, so they may actually explain shit, but I really doubt it, because that will actually take thinking and decent writing. As far as a game movie, I'm probably going to go with your score, 2 out of 10. Mostly because they did have, the axe guy did look badass. The zombies and the what do they call it, Platus? Plagus. The Plagus did look cool. It's like the zombies, and they looked cool. It's like everything looked cool. The slow motion looked cool.
Cool party.
It's still shit all over the games. It did. But at least the characters looked the part.
I am saying it is not a compliment to call me doable.
Well, that's going to do it for the Monday Media Review, Tuesday edition of Monday Media Review. Go play fucking Resident Evil 5. Don't watch this movie.
Yeah, and stop bitching about how it's not Resident Evil 5. It is. It's Resident Evil 5 matured. If it's fucking retarded. People, oh, it's no static camera. It's like, fuck off. You know, grow the fuck up and play a real game.
Well, two guys on the couch. I'm Joe.
And I am George.
We'll see you next time here on the couch.
Dopo me timbacta se no vuoi. Dito male ne valela. Kiko hama stato un trum. Sono doppia da dindo scala. Nella dindo. Gela boom.
Boom, yeah. I understand boom.